Take two. Hey man, if it doesn't feel right to you, do something else or do it again, whatever. If you feel like this isn't working, then don't do it or do it again. It's okay. You're intuitive. You know better than anyone else. I'm Trumbo, life coach. I'm going to call this life coach. I've coached a lot. I've coached my son in soccer, kindergarten, and first grade. That was fun. Kindergarten, first grade, I started getting out coached. I didn't know what to do, so I told my kid, I'll coach basketball, but I don't know soccer. And I did. I probably coached him 4 years in basketball. And when I taught at Springdale High, Coach Smith, I was a volunteer coach for maybe 6 years, 7, I don't know. It was good. He was a good guy to me. And I love basketball. And in schools, teachers, you say teachers don't get paid enough. Well, janitors don't get paid enough, and the bus drivers, and the cooks, and the secretaries. So yeah, there's lots of people that don't get paid enough. But a lot of times the teachers, you work hard, but you're also expected to do something else. Be in charge of the chess club, or help out at the football game and the concession stand. And what I did was volunteer coach because I loved it, and I know some things. If you have a kid that's, 14, 15, 16, basketball, work on this, getting the ball above your head. This is where you shoot. You get the ball above your head. You're going to need some strength. The kid's going to need some strength. It'll get blocked less, and it'll go in more, partly because of the arc. I saw at the back of this science magazine, it was about physics and how the higher the ball starts, the arc, it'll go in more. So that's what I recommend. The second coach that came in, I remember one day I was teaching some kid, early in the season, and the coach said, "Coach Trumbo, we got our own way of teaching them to shoot." So I didn't coach for a couple years. He was only there for 1 or 2 years. And then Coach Stamps came in, and again I started coaching, and just fun, joyous. I have joy writing songs. I have joy at this point coaching basketball. I used to have joy playing it, but now coaching's fine. So, life coach. And my mother was a life cheerleader, even better. I don't have the best memory. Sciences and foreign language, I always got C's. But I remember stories. I remember life. But my mom, one of the best stories ever, they're having a party. She's up on the porch. People are walking in the driveway down below. And she's, "Yay, Howell. Yay, Nancy." Oh my God, it's so fucking beautiful. A life cheerleader. Make me cry. She was a great example of how to live, how to treat others. I remember that. I remember lots of stories. I'll just tell you another one. I volunteered at Ozark Literacy Council, so I had a student trying to help him learn English. He was from China. And we met one day. He was like 21, or I don't know how old he was. Nice guy. We met at the library at the university. I walk in the room. It's a pretty big room, study room, tables. There's one guy sitting down, and there's my student on the other side of the room, 3 of us. I'm white. I mean, you know how we talk about races. I'm white. The guy sitting down was black. And my student on the other side of the room was Asian. That's what we call the three races. So I look across the room and I see my student. I go, yo, 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 yo. And I remember the black guy kind of looking at me like, oh, God. It's probably in the 80s, late 80s. I remember the guy kind of looking at me going, oh, God. A white guy trying to act black in front of the Asian guy. And I should have said this, because it wasn't a big deal, but I should have just told the black guy, that's his name. His name is Yo. I was going, yo, yo, yo. That was his name. That's funny. That's crazy. Okay, one more story. I forget how it happened, but I drove my big brother's wife, who was about to have a baby, and my mom to the hospital. My mom said, Karen wants a Coke. Yeah, I get tired of this fucking Karen stuff. It's just racist. Oh no, we're not being racist. We're just putting down, privilege. And I'm like, no, man, you're being racist. Stupid racist, using these names. I know a lot of Karens, including a black lady named Karen. It's just bullshit. You don't be talking about hating, they're hateful, and then you hate. Yeah, this Karen stuff, that's hateful. No doubt. Racist and hateful. So anyway, the mom goes, Karen wants a Coke after she has the baby. Just something to bring her back to earth and relax, or I don't know, you'd have to ask a woman. I don't know nothing about having babies, and neither does any man. So I go downstairs, I'm excited. I go downstairs at the hospital in the elevator and I get the Coke. Push the button, wait for the elevator. Elevator opens. There's an older lady, kind of bent over. Not my mama, not my mama, not my mama. And there's a younger lady holding her. It's okay, mama, it's okay, mama. I walk on the elevator with my Coke. I'm excited. There's another life coming into the world. And they're so sad because a life is going out. And we ride the elevator up. And I'm just standing there with my Coke. And they're next to me. Not my mama, not my mama. It's okay, mama. It's okay, mama. Yeah, I can remember that. Won't forget that. So, partly I wanted to do this because I got caught in the rain, which was fine. It's about probably less than half a mile to the market from where I live. I love that little market. Fresh food. I don't know how many stalls. It's not one gigantic corporation. Americans seem to be, we're okay with these giant corporations owning everything. And we pay them for our food, our energy, our insurance, our media. So they control everything. And a lot of times it's these billionaires, and they control what you see and what you get to experience and how much you pay for everything. So we need more decentralization, small farmers, smaller shops, and we've gone down the wrong road. Everything's gigantic, and the gigantic place will buy a smaller place and fire everybody and raise the stock dividends. I should know that. My dad was a stockbroker. But we have to be more cognizant, smart about economics. And some of you guys, you women have your own issues too. I think you're way too much into fashion. The guys are way too much into sports and not into how do we create a better society? How do we help people that are struggling? And how do we bring down the cost of housing? I'm not saying I want to buy a house, but paying rent, yeah. If wages are going up like this, but rent's going up like this, what do we need to stop that. We need to stop that. Right? Love your neighbor as yourself. Love the stranger as yourself. Love your enemy. And to love, I think, is to help create a great society. Basically, I'm not a Christian, but I like a lot of what Jesus said. So basically, he said, love everybody. Well, if you love everybody, then you don't want anybody in poverty, right? I think that's pretty clear. And he didn't love money. I like that about him too. And he didn't like judging others. There's lots to like about that guy. So, I don't want to go too long. How long have I been going? Oh, 11. 11:11. My friend Eddie really likes that number, 11:11, or the time, 11:11. And I want you to enjoy your life. For me, back in Fayetteville, I would order groceries and it'd be delivered. I appreciate that. But now I walk, I see some people, I have my little list: bread, cheese, sardines, potatoes, onion, parsley. And I interact with human beings. We need to do that more. We're too isolated and on these phones and everything. Our phones aren't like this anymore. They're like this. How many people do you go by that are like this? There's no point in saying good morning or hello, because they're gone. They're somewhere else. We need to be friendlier. Friendly. It's a good word. I think the guy asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? He goes, love God and love each other. Well, how do you love each other if you're not friendly? You don't. You have to be friendly. You have to be nice and kind and friendly. If you believe in what that guy said. So, I saw something on a video where a lady was saying, the French, don't say mon ami. They don't say that. But I don't know how else to say my friend, or I don't know French. But if I say merci beaucoup, thanks a lot, merci beaucoup, mon ami, or merci beaucoup, mon frère, my brother, mon ami, my friend, mes amis, my friends. I say that all the time now. And most of the people, some, like today, a couple kind of laughed and thought, okay, this American doesn't know how to speak our language, but at least he's being friendly. At least he's being nice. I've never had anybody act like that was the wrong thing to say. They know I'm a fool in this country, but I'm trying, and I'm thanking my friend, thanking my brother. Yeah, just simple stuff. Simple stuff. So, I tried some new French today. The français, French wine. And I said this a couple times, and it took a while. Boo, and I think it's bon. I think she said bon. Bon, oui, abordable. Good and affordable. You have good and affordable French wine. First wine I've got here. How long have I been here? A week? And I'm a guy from America, so I'm a beer dude, and sometimes too much beer. whatever your bad habits are, try to do your best. And don't beat yourself up, like, oh, I ate too much, or I drank too much, or I didn't do something I should have. Okay, come back down. And here's the good area. Maybe here's the good area. And sometimes we're, make mistakes and stuff. And okay, it's okay. Come back down. And sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes we shine. You shine. Yes, you do. Don't tell me you don't. Being a friend, helping a stranger, helping your family, creating something, fixing something. I've washed lots of dishes in different restaurants, and I remember, a Buddhist teaching about whatever you're doing, do it well. I was a damn good dishwasher. I never got fired because I was dependable and responsible and a hard worker and getting shitty wages. They're like, okay, we want to keep him. Another story. So I'm 19, had a rough senior year. Didn't go to college, washed dishes at Bonanza Smokehouse. And I think the owner's dad came in once, and I had long hair, but I wore a kind of a cap, the cook cap or whatever they call it. But I was in the back. And I think he came in once and said, "Who's this new guy in the back?" And he goes, "Oh, that's Trumbo. He stays in the back." And the guy goes, "You make sure he does." And the manager told me that. So every time he would come in, I'd get the trash, I'd take it out, and I'd spit on his car. What else am I gonna do? It helped me feel a little better, Do what makes you feel better. But don't spit on people's cars. I was reckless. No, part of my life, man. Part of my life. The bus boy had issues, I'll just say issues. And if he didn't get his stuff done, I had to go out and bus. So I would have to bus, and then I would have to wash the dishes. A double job almost. And the boss would come in, texting you, get out there and help bus. And so maybe I'd go out there to the bus tub, and here's the bus boy talking to a policeman saying, have you arrested anybody today? And I'd go up to him, I go, "Hey man, bust these tables." And he'd look at me and goes, "I'm working harder than you are." And I remember thinking, man, what did I do wrong that I'm in this living hell? And there's a lot of people that are doing crappy jobs for low wages. And I'm glad I did that a lot of times. I know what it's like. And some of those jobs have to be done, but shorter hours, more respect, higher wages. I just read about Amazon, where they may cut back with automation, robotics. It's going to do a bunch of jobs. Now, I'm not saying their jobs are the best in their warehouses, but where's the jobs? I'm a life coach. We need good lives. We need the possibility of, happiness, the pursuit of happiness. You're not going to have the pursuit of happiness if you're poor, if your wages are stagnant, if rent's going up and energy costs are going up. And energy costs are going up partly because of the data centers and AI and all the energy that these tech companies run by billionaires are taking. So regular people are like, wow, the cost of my water and electricity is going up. but not my wages. I'm a life coach. We need to be better citizens, involved, in the middle of it, understanding. I don't care if you think you're country. Okay, I'm country. I'm from Arkansas. You can understand a little bit more about economics, monetary policy, fiscal policy, tax policy, things that impact you, housing policy, impact you, your friends, your family, your children, the planet. We can do this. We can do this. A good coach helps you believe in yourself. That's why I'm here. And if it's something simple that makes you feel a little better, like buying a fresh fig, these are good. It's kind of funny, I'll get one. I want you to have a good life. I want everybody to have a good life. Yep. Life coach, Trumbo. I've got a great team.